morning, traders. Welcome to the TMT Stock Market Strategy video for Wednesday, December 23rd, couple days before the Christmas holiday, and volume will continue to diminish and get lighter and lighter, therefore giving us the thin to win, if you will. And what I mean by that is when you generally have light volume, the markets just tend to gravitate to the upside with nobody around, and that's really what happens. So therefore, I am going to call the Santa Claus rally a confirmation. We are getting a confirmation that we are getting the Santa Claus rally, but with caution, and that's what I'm labeling this video. And reason why is we did have an outside day from this previous day. We're back into this lower trend line area of support. We did have that M formation trigger right here. However, we're back into it, so that's going to negate the bearish pattern for now. So we're going to be looking to get right here is going to be that next area of resistance. And I think between now and the end of the year, we should gravitate to at least this area and maybe pop up above it. So that's what I'm looking for in the spiders. You can see the spiders right here. This is what I'm looking for with this outside day reversal. I am going to call the Santa Claus rally a confirmation, but again, with caution. Why? We have lots of our leaders lagging. What I mean by that is the transports continue to lag. The Russell continues to lag. Now, the Russell is really is in its own sweet spot. And what I mean by that is that we have a tax selling period that's been happening, and that's why you get a lot of these stocks that have been beaten down the last couple of weeks. I'm going to get into that in a moment as well. But you have the transports and the Russell lagging, and a lot of the Russell 2000, which has underperformed the market this year, they're selling all of their losses, and that's why the Russell has been lagging. So that means that Russell usually comes to seasonal strength this time of year, would be a great candidate to start looking to buy some of the Russell components and or the Russell itself, either the TF contract, which would be the futures, or the IWM, which would be the ETF. So just keep that in mind, guys, for between this week and next week, okay? Now, again, with the outside day trade yesterday, back into this bull flag, if you will. I'm going to call it a bull flag for now. I'm looking for that upside target. Now, well, when we get the upside target, do we have any room? Are we overbought, oversold? Well, let's take a look at our McClellan oscillator, which is the NIMO. And as you can see here, we're really neutral. We're basically at a 17.32%, which is nothing. That gives us plenty of room to the upside here. And at least when you get to this area, 60, 80, that's when you become overbought in an overbought state with the markets like here. Then you want to use caution. But there's plenty of room to the upside right now to at least confirm that Santa Claus rally. That's why I'm saying that I do believe that the Santa Claus rally right now is confirmed. Again, but with caution, because we still have market divergence. And what do I mean by that? On top of the transports and on top of the Russell, you have a lot of your leaders that were leading, the Apples, the Googles, the Facebooks. They're lagging right now. Now, they need to start picking up, which today could easily start to rally. So that's something that we're going to be watching closely today, okay? But as you can see here, again, another outside day. Beautiful. Not that the chart is anything but bullish, but for today, at least for the time being, maybe we'll get to that 20. We get to that 50-day moving average. Excuse me, the 20 and the 50 up here in red. So that's what I'm looking for today and tomorrow's trade. Now, tomorrow we have a half a day here in the United States. For those of you who are abroad, just wanted to give that a heads up to you guys out there, okay? Now we have, let's take a look at, here's the transports, and as you can see, clearly, again, outside day from the previous day. Fill that little bit of a gap. Again, nothing bullish about this chart, but if we can at least get right up in here to the 20 or the 50, that would at least help and confirm that Santa Claus rally going into next week and a couple days into January. I'm going to put out a longer-term perspective video next week for what my thoughts are for the first quarter of 2016. Okay, so let's take a look at the diamonds. You can see here we do have that M formation. We broke down. We're back above it again. So still intact, this M top formation. But if we start taking out this right side here, then we're just going to negate the pattern here. Okay. I mean, somebody was telling me, a couple guys were saying, well, what do you think? Maybe a bull flag? Yeah, you could even call it a bull flag if you wanted to. Same thing with a lot of the other indices if you want to do something like this. But it's getting a little bit long in the tooth for that pattern. If anything, it looks more like is that bull flag pattern we're looking at within an M top formation. So you could call it that if you will. But again, if anything, the target would be this upper end of this trend line area. So this is the same thing like the spiders. Let's look for something up in this area here. But we still got some resistance here in the 20 and the 50. We need to break back above it, okay? So we'll just take it one step at a time, guys. And lastly is the Qs. You can see here doing quite better than the other indexes. But again, it's all based on a lot of the main players, such as the Googles, the Google L. And here's Apple. Let me just show you Apple, how Apple started to deteriorate. I mentioned Apple a while ago, several months ago, up here when it had earnings, and I said this is totally manipulation. They're having their suppliers are guiding lower. They're missing their earnings on Apple because Apple's not buying enough supply. So what does that tell you? There's a slowdown here, and obviously after 3 days of movement higher, we had a gap down. They try to rally them, and sure enough, look at this. This looks nasty. I would be looking to sell any rallies in Apple right up in this area here, into this area. Maybe we get some sort of like a bear flag, something like this, and then we would sell it for that move lower. So we'll see, though, guys. One step at a time. Right now, we're going to get a little bit of a pop. Hopefully, that helps. But if you look at the Amazons, let me just show you a couple of these stocks I'm looking at. Really not going anywhere, right? You could see clearly that we're kind of stuck in this range. We're right up in this area here in this box. Now we need to either break down or break out of that area. But let me show you something else too. You could see Apple, Facebook, the same thing. You could see clearly here, very similar repetitive patterns on all of these bigger stocks here, right? You have Apple, Facebook. Yeah, let's take a look at Google. Again, same patterns, right? These repetitive patterns are key, guys. We need to break out of these ranges. If we don't break out of these ranges, we're going to go lower. And we probably are not going to do that today, tomorrow, or next week. But rest assured, one way or the other, something's going to happen that we're either going to break to the upside or break to the downside. No one knows this, okay? Let the market tell you which direction it wants to go. But until then, keep an eye on the big cap stocks, because if they start to move lower and the Russell starts to break down with the transports, guess what? All the other indices are going to follow suit. And that's going to be the deciding factor. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, just a quick admin note. There will be no video. Obviously, tomorrow will be Christmas Eve. Christmas Day is Friday. We will have another video back online for Monday. Have a great holiday for those of you who celebrate. And for those of you who are celebrating Jewish holidays, do the same as well. Have a great and safe one. And we will speak to you on Monday, everybody. Take care.